Tournament fishing is one of this country's fastest growing sports. Each year, thousands of anglers compete in ABT brim, bass and barra events, hoping to win their place in the Australian Fishing Championships. This season, 3 of those qualifiers join 9 seasoned pros to compete in 6 of the toughest events this series has ever held.
That is a once-in-a-lifetime fish.
And for the first time ever, an American FLW pro has made the journey down under to try and claim the crown for the US.
Hank and the Yank.
Anglers will be pushed to the limit.
What?
Records will be broken.
Smash is that?
Yes!
And champions will be made. These guys will hold nothing back to win a title that is prized more than any other. Last round, Club Marine's Tim Morgan not only took the win, but also broke the AFC record for the biggest bag. But this week, we're at Lake Borumba and it's elimination time. Hello and welcome to round 4 of the Australian Fishing Championships, coming to you from Borumba Dam in Queensland. It certainly is a stunning and picturesque venue. My name's Matthew Campbell, and once again I'm joined by Steve Morgan. And Steve, again, the AFC at a first-time venue.
Borumba is an ABT bass angler's favourite, and our AFC pros are going to love it just as much.
Well, the pressure is always on at this level of competition, but it is a huge day for our pros because 3 of them are facing relegation. That will be in the back of their minds. But first, Steve, tell us a little bit more about today's arena.
Lake Borumba is in southeast Queensland, about 90 minutes drive west of Noosa. It's a small lake with a surface area of just 500 hectares, and it's 100% full at the moment, with natural structure right down to the edge. It's got an abundance of standing timber, which can add another level of difficulty when the bass are hooked close to cover. Hooking the bass is one thing here, getting them out's a totally different story.
Well, guys, here we are at lovely Lake Borumba, and there is nothing like an AFC bass round to throw a cat amongst the pigeons. I mean, as the guys were putting their boats in this morning, they were sledging pretty hard.
They certainly were, Adam. We are going to see an awesome top water bite, I think, this morning. The boys are going to tangle with a lot of other species here at Borumba. We've got yellow belly, silver perch, and also the big leaping Saratoga, which will be exciting stuff if the boys get hold of some of them.
Carl and Adam, this round at Borumba is also really all about pressure because there's 3 anglers today that can be relegated from this bass round. The only one that can't is Tim Morgan, and he deserves not to be because he had an impressive round at the last one at Somerset with a new AFC record.
Yeah, absolutely. And who is your money on today, Daryl?
I'm going to go for the rookie. I'm going to go for Kerry.
And Carl?
I think top water's where it's at. If the boys can get hold of a couple of them big fish on top water, I know Tim is and I know Kerry is, so my money's on them.
All right, I'm sitting all my coin on Harry.
Thanks, guys. Well, I guess versatility might be the key today, Steve.
Yeah, and whoever does what they do best is going to come out on top today. Harry's great at throwing spinnerbaits, Symes throws the jackal like no one else in the country, and Timmy loves his top water.
Do or die for me today. Basically, if I don't win, I'm out. And who'd want that to happen? I've had an absolute ball doing AFC and I want to stay in it so bad. So, had a good pre-fish. I'm going to go out and do what I did yesterday, have fun and enjoy it. If we whack a couple of big fish, that'll be great. If we don't, well, what happens, happens.
Matthew Mott, our reigning champion, just reaffirming to all our pros that past reputations mean nothing in this cutthroat competition.
For Borumba today, I got a lot of different rods rigged up. I got a couple with surface in the morning in case I get busted up or lose a lure. I just pick up another rod and go. And then yesterday I caught a couple of other fish on different techniques. So like Somerset, throughout the day I'll be picking up different rods, trying different techniques in different situations, hopefully fooling a few of those nice big Borumba bass into biting. Over there, Mercury, number 4 on the water, baby.
Good luck today, buddy.
No worries.
Best man win, which hopefully is me.
Yeah, and me second.
Yeah, well then someone else goes out. That'll be choice. We'll do our best anyway.
Some friendly banter, but make no mistake, these guys are very competitive.
Kerry Symes, you must be fairly excited about finishing second in the last round at Somerset, and your confidence is high here, is it?
Yeah, pretty confident here. Had a good pre-fish, so try top water this morning for an hour or 2 and then go to a good bank. I got some nice fish off yesterday and work it hard.
Nice work, mates. Good luck today.
Thanks, mate.
And the conditions this morning are perfect for a top water bite. The water's shaded, it's calm, and the bass can easily find the top water baits.
The Ford Ranger clock counting down to what should be an exciting day's angling. Look at them ready to go. Club Marine, our current leader, first away.
On a small lake like Borumba, a 20-second advantage can mean everything. He'll get to his spot and have his line in the water before the last boat has left.
Next to go, Shimano's Kerry Symes.
Kerry had a great AFC debut at Lake Somerset and he's looking calm and collected in this crucial second round.
Up next, Berkley's Harry Watson.
Hold on.
Oh, Harry's nervous.
Well, take two for Harry Watson, and let me tell you, he will be embarrassed about that false start, but Berkley is away. And our final boat, bringing up the rear, Matthew Mott from Team Mercury. And as Motty speeds away to his first position, let's take a look at today's conditions. A light breeze, slightly humid. We're headed for a top temperature of 29 degrees. Another picture-perfect day in Queensland for catching bass. Harry Watson speeding away to his first position. And as expected, Tim Morgan already with his lure in the water.
And no surprises that Tim is using this window early in the session to try and tempt an early morning limit on surface lures.
Yep. Looking over my shoulder. Only a little fish. Won't even be legal. Pull him into the boat, so a nice little bass smashed that surface lure, but we're looking for his big brother.
And there's nothing wrong with getting an early fish on the board, even if it's not legal. It shows Tim that he's fishing the right lure in the right place.
So a lovely little bass, we'll let him go. And the lure we caught him on was a Mega Bass Dog X Junior. So a nice bright one so we can see it easily. And as you're winding in, you just twitch the rod tip and it does the walk the dog action. And that fish there actually hit on the pause. So when it was paused for a sec, he came up and whacked it. So let's go get his big brother.
We'll leave Tim Morgan with his plan, and we find Kerry Symes not too far from him in a sheltered bay.
These bass here are more like wild bass. They eat a lot of cicadas and stuff, and that's due to the forest and stuff around them. That's why top water goes pretty well here. A lot of lizards and snakes and stuff, and it's even possible to see fish smash them when they're swimming.
I think that every single bass angler in Australia would agree that topwater fishing is the most exciting way of catching bass. These small floating lures crawling across the surface trigger the bass into grabbing the bait, dragging it under the surface for a better look. Anything swimming across the top of the lake is fair game for these fish.
There he is, yes. It's only a little fella. Never mind. Certainly want one a lot bigger than that one.
Two pros using surface lures. The bass are biting, but unfortunately they're not the right size. Now, here's Mercury's Matthew Mott, also with a surface lure.
Oh. You see that? Big fish.
And the Ford Ranger replay shows this fish boiling on Motty's topwater lure. And that's the downside with topwater fishing. You can see them boil on the bait, but they don't always hook up.
I've used that surface lure now for about a half an hour and I've had 3 good strikes on it, but no hookups. Sun's starting to come up a bit now, and in our pre-fish, as soon as the sun came up, we never got too much after that, so I'm just going to go back to what I whacked the fish on yesterday. It's an IB half-ounce smack spinnerbait. It caught me a lot of fish, and hopefully it does the same today.
Well, there's our first change of tactic for the morning. Let's see what Harry Watson's up to.
I'm throwing along wide of the trees here because the weed bed comes out wide. You can't see it, but it is down deep. Where I'm hitting there is probably about 8 or 10 feet just off the edge of the weed. Just trying to roll it through there. Little tacker, I'd say. First little one of the day. Told you there'd be one under there. Just not what we want.
All our pros are finding fish, but unfortunately there's nothing so far on the scoreboard, nothing in the live well. Let's go back to Club Marine.
Carl, Tim Morgan from Club Marine behind us right now, still persisting with top water. Is there a good reason he's doing that?
There is, Darryl, and that's the problem with top water. It can really suck you in. You want to keep using it because Tim knows any moment he'll get belted by a really big bass. But in the next 10 minutes is critical whether he makes that decision to go to deep water like he's spinnerbaiting or to stay with top water. I think he's left it a little bit late, but we'll see what he does in the next few minutes.
Team Mercury's Matthew Mott has already made a change of tactics and he's made a change of location too. Now he's fishing that spinnerbait along a steep rocky bank.
Yep. Good fish, good fish. Oh no, get out of there, baby. Oh, I like hell. Oh, he's not as big as I thought, but he's all right. Oh yeah, there's a good fish. He's a kilo plus. That's what we needed, that's a good start. Okay, we'll stick him on the ABT measurer there. Just come up there like that. Oh, he's nearly 37. Nice little start for the day. We'll get him in the well and let's calm the nerves a little bit and get us another one. Some good fishing here, so hopefully we can catch him.
After the break, our anglers hook up.
Anyone for a brown dog in their calf muscle?
What goes through my mind when I'm out there targeting fish is to be confident about what I'm doing and what I'm throwing, and to try and focus on my strength and what I know can get me up to the top. I try not to look at what everyone else is doing. My theory is that if they're biting over here, then my fish are going to bite. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that's just the risk you take. But when you go out there and you have a theory and it doesn't work, and you go back and analyse it and try again next time, and then it does work, that's what gets you that passion and it really gets that fire in the belly to keep doing it.
Matthew Mott just showing that you only get to the top if you have an unyielding confidence in your own ability.
Oh, there's it. There, that's a better one. This one's got a bit more weight to him. You stinking yellow belly. We'll just net him in there. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind him if he was a bass. Probably just a kilo and a half. Oh, well, that's good. Good action.
That yellow belly may have helped Motty's confidence, but it hasn't helped him on the scoreboard. Tim Morgan's also on zero, and he's moved further up the lake, fishing subsurface.
Yep. It doesn't feel real big. Pull him in, he'll probably go legal. So just cast into that bit of a lay down snag in there. Oh, he's pretty fat. I don't know if he'll go 30, but... And on that stinger hook there, so we always run that stinger hook on the spinner baits. So if they strike a bit short, you can still hook them up, no worries at all. Just over 30 to the fork of the tail.
Spinnerbaits are the logical choice for our pros fishing Borumba. They have upward riding hooks which ride over, around and through that timber where the bass are sitting. Sometimes though, spinnerbaits aren't the most productive lure, so you'll see several of our pros throwing open hooked lipless crankbaits. But fishing these lures in structure presents its own set of problems.
Got it. Borumba is full of thick timber. The boys are throwing these lures as hard up against it as they can, and there's a big problem with that. These lures that our anglers are throwing into them are worth about $30, so you don't want to be getting them snagged up all the time. And as you saw me do there, just a quick smashing at the bottom of the butt of the rod, get that tip really working, it'll actually bounce that lure up over the log. And I've got it back, ready for another cast.
Yeah, it was about this time yesterday. We caught the fish when the sun was pretty high. It was warm, the fish had moved back down into the deeper water. It's amazing you can get two great big fish, really good trophy fish, and off a bank one day and nothing the next. But this dam's really notorious for that, unfortunately. There's a fish. Oh no!
Huge disappointment for our rookie. Look at him, he is absolutely shattered.
Oh, that was a real horse of a fish. He's just bricked me straight around that log. Oh, that hurts.
Carl, Kerry Symes from Team Shimano has no bass in his well, and he's just lost his favourite lure. Mentally, how tough's that going to be for him now?
It's huge, Darryl. He's got one lure that he's caught all his big fish on in the pre-fish. He's hooked big fish today, so he's confident with it. He's riding this whole tournament on that one lure, and he's now lost it on a big fish. Mentally, that's massive, and now he's basically got to start again. He's got to find a new lure that he can regain his confidence in and finish this session. It's going to be tough.
Interesting to watch.
Harry Watson, a bit of trouble and turmoil for you this morning, mate. And how many fish have you got in your well?
0 there, Adam. Nothing. I must have had 10 bites on spinnerbaits and can't seem to. I caught a little bass and a yellow belly and I've just got busted off just back there on a jackal on a good fish that wrapped me around a log down under the water and I couldn't get him off.
So your day can only go up from here?
Well, yes, it can't get any worse, you could say.
You'll notice as this bite's getting tougher and tougher for Harry, he's getting closer and closer to this bankside structure, getting his lure in underneath the lilies, around the timber and into the strike zone.
Well, that's a better one for a yellow belly. Oh, around the tree, son. It could be a bass, actually. Oh, I just got hooked on a lure, stuck in the back of my leg. Oh, it's a bass. Got to get this lure out of my leg first. Oh, I'm not getting that out in a hurry. Anyone for a brown dog silent in the back in their calf muscle? Oh, yeah. Well, that's number 1 in the well and number 2 in the back of my leg. That didn't even hurt, it went in that quick.
Well, no pain, no gain there for Harry Watson. He's intent on getting this fish off the hook into the live well before he starts worrying about that jackal buried in his leg.
Put him in the well. Now I can faint. You know how to take these out?
Yeah.
Get over here.
We'll leave Harry to his running repairs. We'll head back over to Club Marine. Tim Morgan has 1 in the well. He's searching for number 2.
Yep. He's got a bit of weight to him, but he's not fighting too much. Oh no, he's a good bass. Let's grab this net. Yes, excellent. Bit better than the last one, but still not a huge fish. But you always got a better feeling in a tournament when you get your second one in the live well. So put him on the ruler, he'll probably be about 33 or 34, I'd say. So bigger than that last one, but not big enough to win.
Coming up after the break.
So 1, 2, yank.
I remember I was at home one day and a mate come round and he said, "Come on, let's go fishing." We were only like 10 or 12 or whatever it was, and we were looking down in the water and there was all these fish and they were eating the grasshoppers. So we run about probably 3-4 k's all the way home from the river, got 1 rod, 1 lure, got Dad to tie it on for me. We run all the way back to the river and caught 3 perch, and after that we were hooked on lures because you just go out and throw this thing and wind it in and these fish grab it and take off with it and you think, wow, how exciting is this? And that was my first lure experience and I've been hooked ever since.
And Harry means what he says because he's still hooked.
This is a pretty standard thing to have happen when you're dealing with a lot of lures, and these lures have got treble hooks, which is, 3 points on one. They have 2 sets, so 3 potential points where you can get hooked. And Harry's got 1 of them pretty much as far into yourself as you could ever possibly want it to get. All right, so we've got a stretch of 60-pound mono from Harry's locker there, mate. This is your barramundi leader, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, so fold that in half and then wrap it really firmly around one of your fingers. So we've got a loop of mono there. Stick that over the entire lure and down around the bend of the hook like that. Now, it's going to happen on the, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.
Do you want me to push down on that?
I want you to push down on that. All right, so 1, 2, 3, yank.
I know when you're going to do it. You're supposed to go 1. You're supposed to do it on 1, not when you're talking to me.
Stop your whinging, it's out, isn't it?
A lovely bit of finesse there from Adam Reuter. Harry Watson back in the game. Now, Tim Morgan's our only pro with a full limit. And Steve, Matthew Mott's decided to join him in the same part of the lake.
Well, let's take a look at where all of our teams are fishing. Berkley, Mercury and Club Marine are all targeting the western arm of the lake. Shimano's finally decided to move, and it looks like Kerry's about to join the other teams. His challenge is to find some unfished water and make an impression on the scoreboard. Currently, he's still on 0 and time is running out.
Motty, you've worked this whole bank and you've just started getting hits. Is the water warming up? Is that what you're waiting on?
Yeah, mate, that's what I, in the pre-fish, most of my fish came a bit later in the day on spinnerbaits when the bigger fish sort of got a bit active, so we're casting right to the death today. I need this good victory in this one to stay in it, and who wouldn't want to stay in AFC, as you know, so.
Probably the most important session of your whole of AFC.
Yeah, mate, I'm going to put everything I got into it and we'll see how we go.
Good luck, Motty.
Thanks, buddy.
From someone who's facing relegation to someone who's safe, Tim Morgan won the previous event and leads this one with 2 in the well.
I've just worked myself along this bank here for about the last hour and got 2 fish on spinnerbaits up here a little bit further. What I'm going to do is work back with this Mega Bass Sumatra. I'm going to sit out a bit wider and do big long casts into the bank and work the lure back out that way. So even though I'm going over the same territory, I'm fishing it with a different lure and basically a different technique.
And you can see Tim practicing what he preaches here, casting that lure close to the tree, sinking it down to the right level, and then slow rolling it back to the boat.
Yep.
And he's on for what could be his first upgrade.
Upgrading is when the angler gets the smallest fish in his live well and replaces it with a bigger fish that he's just caught. Anglers can upgrade as many times as they like during a session. The reason they have to do it, the bag limit for bass is only 2 fish.
Yes. So I've just flicked a little cast in at the tree here and got him. Not a huge fish, it'll be a couple of centimetre upgrade, but if I can keep doing a couple of centimetres every hour or so, I'll go in with 2 nice fish. And in. 31.5. So a nice little legal fish there. Probably only 50 gram upgrade or something, but every gram counts in AFC.
Okay, this is another spot that fished pretty well a few days ago. Got some reasonable fish off it. And the reason we come up here is I'm pretty confident no one else would have fished it. They probably wouldn't have come this far up. So at least we're fishing, hopefully fishing a bit of clean water that's still got some fish on it. So we'll give this a go anyway. See if we can't put one in the well.
We can see Kerry's change of tactics here. He's fishing these long, shallow, sloping points, and that's in vast contrast to the other anglers.
Yep, there's a fish. Oh, Jesus, what do I got to do? Oh, he's still on. I thought he was gone. What happened then? Come on, come on, come on. He might go. Get close. Coming out of that snag in there. Thought he'd come off for a while. He swam straight at us. 32.5. That'll do us. First bass. Took a long time to come. Not having such a good day, but hopefully this is the turning point.
Finally, some joy for Shimano. After the break, the battle against relegation continues.
There he is, another one.
Our AFC anglers use the slickest looking boats in the country, so the vehicles that tow them need to look the part too. The Ford Ranger fits the bill perfectly. The muscular, bold lines and sure-footed, aggressive stance tell you that once you're behind the wheel, there's no holding back. The strong and powerful design is emphasised by the side steps, sports bar and bedliner with 12-volt power socket. And with awesome 16-inch sports alloy wheels, all standard on XLT models, loading up the gear for a day's fishing is an absolute pleasure. The Ford Ranger has a convex passenger side mirror, which provides maximum distance judging, particularly important when our anglers reverse their boats into the water on competition day. Internally, the comfortable seats with standard power windows and mirrors make the Ford Ranger feel more like a car than a pickup. An engine immobiliser and remote keyless entry with central locking is also standard on all models. When the anglers need to go off-road, the 4x4 models have shift-on-the-fly capability. This means they don't have to stop the vehicle to switch from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. The legendary tough Ford Ranger, the official vehicle of the Australian Fishing Championships.
I was lucky enough a couple of years ago to win the AFC as Team Homebird with Carl, and we got a lot of kudos for that. It was really hurt me personally, getting kicked out of the brim last year. We're all great fishermen, anyone can come last at any stage, but I'm just a regular guy who loves fishing, so I just go out there, and every time, doesn't matter whether I'm socially fishing or fishing a comp, I'm trying to catch as many and as big a fish as possible.
Well, that's something all our pros are always looking to do, and Kerry Symes is on the move again, starting to feel the pressure with 1.5 hours remaining, searching for the big kicker fish. Likewise, Berkley's Harry Watson.
I should have had 2 in the well, only that other one. Can't believe it. Been having a shocker. It's tough with 4 good guys. It only takes tiny little things to not work for you, and it's all over. Just little things. That's all it takes. Yep, gotcha. That feels like something small. Might have to measure this fella. Going hard, try and get him in before this boat gets around here. Oh, he's legal. Not big though.
It may not be big, but it's important. He'll now have a full limit. He'll join Club Marine with 2 fish, and he still has time to upgrade.
One angler without his full limit is Matthew Mott, and he's desperately running around the lake now, trying to find that second legal fish to complete his bag.
Well, Timmy, you've got a lot of tackle on the deck there. Talk us through what you've been casting at them today.
Well, I started off with top water at them, but didn't work at all, mate. I probably fished it a bit long. Then I went to spinnerbait, and I got 2 up in probably the first half hour, so the monkey was off the back and deep breaths, and at the moment I'm throwing a little bit Mega Bass Sumatra, so a little bony brim imitation.
Yep.
And the way I'm fishing this is I'll just do a nice big long cast in close to the bank, and when that lure hits I'll do a few little winds just off the bank there, and then I'll let it sink down a bit, because on my sounder, it doesn't matter how deep we're fishing, whether it's 15 or 40 foot, a lot of the fish have been holding down about 7.5 foot to 10 foot. So I'll actually count down to about 5, do a few winds, and as you wind in, it'll slowly rise up in the water column. So I'll pause it, let it sink back down a few seconds, and then wind again. So I'm yo-yoing it through the level the fish are at.
Beautiful, mate. Thanks for that.
No worries, Adam.
There's no doubt about it. Tim Morgan is a man with a plan. Back to Kerry Symes.
Some days it just doesn't happen. Your lure gets tangled, it just hooks dig where they're not supposed to go, and fish fall off, and so what we're trying to do is cast in tight to that structure, and hopefully there's a bass waiting in there to ambush something as it swims past. There he is, another one. Same deal, a little bit smaller. He's not going to be legal, but same thing as the last one, hiding in the structure, waiting for something to swim past.
It seems as though Kerry's worked out a bit of a pattern now. He's got a new favourite jackal and he's throwing it at all the right places. Matthew Mott is switched to a deeper, shady bank.
Yeah, we've just moved along this bank. We caught a few fish here yesterday. Doing exactly what I'm doing now. I think everyone will be struggling, and I'm just going to stick to my plan. I know there's fish along these banks and up further up the other river where we caught them a bit later yesterday afternoon. So we're just going to keep with that. I think everyone would be doing it a little bit tough. There might be a few blokes with couple in the well, but I don't think anyone's smashing them. So it's just going to keep casting. Just wait for that lucky bite and hang on. Yeah. Oh, I need that net. I don't know if he's legal, but... Oh yeah, he's legal. Get in there, baby. Oh yeah. He's only just, but if he is, that's a lot of pressure off. Just wanted to get those two in the well, and it just gives us the room to upgrade then. So we'll stick him on the ruler. Oh, you beauty. He is 31. He's not a big fish, but I don't think I've been ever so happy to see a 31 centimetre bass, but I'll take him. That gives me 2.
After the break, as our pros fill their bags, the tension really mounts.
When you're fishing, you're very focused. You're trying to envision your lure, what it's doing on the bottom. Hopefully it's mimicking what the fish wants to eat. All of a sudden, when the fish, especially Australian bass, hit very hard, so there's a real rod jarring jerk, and that's when your heart just starts pumping, the adrenaline flows, and it's such a buzz, and especially if it's a big one, because the next thing that happens is the rod's buckled over, the reel's going zzz, the drag's going off, and when that net goes under him, it's the real feeling of elation to put him in the boat and know that you got a really good fish.
And Kerry Symes needs that buzz right now.
Got an hour to go, still need one more fish to get a limit. We'll do this from this point down to that next point there, a couple of 100 metres. Produced a couple of fish for me here a few days ago, not bad fish either. By the time we finish that, that'll just about be the end of our fish time. So putting a lot of hope in this bit of bank. We'll see what happens. Oh, there's a fish. Yeah. Come on, come on. Oh, I don't know, I think this might be a yellow. He's not fighting too good. I don't know what it is, but it's a nice fish, whatever it is. Oh no, it's a bass. It's a nice bass. Come on. Come on. In the net, boy. Oh! 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 What a relief that is. That is just awesome. I can't believe how relieved I am. And it's a nice fish too. He's not big, but he's all right. Whoa, what a battle. What a session. Took so long to get 2 fish, but it's not a bad fish. Oh, geez, that is just amazing.
Tim Morgan, an hour to go. How many fish for the day? It's been pretty tough.
It's been a tough day for me today. I was happy to get those 2 legals early, and then I got another upgrade not long after that, but since then I've been really struggling. So what I'm going to do now, hour to go, back out in the main basin and hopefully find a big fish out there.
The amazing thing for us is that we've been here a few times today and you've all been here.
Yeah, I've seen the other guys fish along here too, but just as that sun's coming up, there's still a bit of shade along here, so I was hoping there was going to be a big one sitting there, but I was wrong.
I hope you smacked some in the last hour.
Cheers, Darryl.
All our pros looking to upgrade now. This last hour is so important.
Oh, look at that. There's structure all the way out here. It's basically put as many casts in as you can along these walls like this. I'm thinking I need about a 42 to put me in the race. Whoever catches a big one or 2 40s is right up there, I reckon. Well, from what I've patterned. Yep, got him. Oh no, not another one around a tree. Oh, he's off. I think it's a yellow belly. Don't know. No, it's a bass. It's going out. Yep. Looks like it might be an upgrader. Come on, where are you? Come on, give up. There he is. I don't know if he's an upgrade.
Harry, that looks like an upgrade, and considering how tough Borumba's fished today, that is a good fish to have in the well.
All right, we're inside the last hour. I believe the fish have really shut down over the last 2 hours, so I'm going back to this smaller lipless crankbait, and I'm going to rub on some of that Mega Strike again. So, you know, I've got to have everything going in my favour. So that's got mega strike rubbed on it. Let's go in here and see if we can whack one of those big ones.
You may not recognise this spot, but this is where Tim pulled up this morning and caught a small fish on a surface lure. At that time, he saw fish on the sounder. He's come back here now to try and catch them.
Yep, first cast in. Oh, he's got me into some weed. Come on, get out of there. I think it's a bigger fish too. I don't know, I haven't seen him yet. Just using a bit lighter line on this, but it'll definitely be an upgrade if I can get him in the net. Well, we've still got a bit of go left in him. Not a huge fish, but I'll tell you what, that's better than that 31 I got in there. That's what you call a good call, I suppose. So yeah, first cast into the shade there, bang.
And not for the first time, Tim Morgan finishes the session strongly.
Well, that's about it. We're run out of time. We've got to head back. We're a fair way up the dam here. It'll take us a good 10 minutes to get back. We only got about 15 to go. So we need to head off. Not really happy about the size of the fish we got, but I'm very happy that we got 2. So we'll go back and see what the damage is.
It was tough fishing out there today. So I'm sure the other boys have got some bigger fish, you know, a couple of fish that we lost, but that's just the way they were doing. They were short striking. And one thing I'm happy about is I had a plan coming in and I stuck to it. So, I mean, I didn't donut. I got 2 fish. They're only little things, but what do you say? I'm a bit lost for words, actually. I'm sort of hoping I'd do really well and stay in AFC, but I don't think I have. But that's the way it goes.
Motty may have his doubts, but who can tell? As our pros head back for the weigh-in, it will be so close. When we return, it goes down to the wire. Welcome back to round 4 of the Australian Fishing Championships from beautiful Lake Borumba in Queensland. It was tough for our pros, and at the end of the day, very little separated them. Team Club Marina's already weighed in, but who will be relegated?
And the rookie bass angler for this year, Kerry Symes from Shimano. Mate, you've got 2 fish. Now, mate, you pushed it absolutely to the last second today. You cast and I've never seen so many casts come out of a man in my entire life. If you had 4 arms and 2 rods, you would have done that. I know you would have.
Yeah, it was the toughest day I've had on the water. Didn't have a fish 3.5 hours into the session and was really starting to worry. The bank I put all my money on just didn't happen. I lost a really good fish there, bricked me in the timber.
Yep.
And had to break it off. And once that happened, I didn't get a bite then for probably an hour. And then I thought I just got to get 2 fish. And I thought I have to go to a bank where I don't think anyone's fished, which is what I did. Went right up the back and was really lucky and got 2 fish off it.
Well, mate, I hate to say this, but I think the one that bricked you was the one you really, really needed.
Yeah.
Now, to win this round, you need 1.35 kilos to knock off Timmy, but also you're up against 2 other anglers that haven't weighed in yet, so you could potentially get the boot from AFC right here today. Let's see how you go. They're on the scales, and mate, unfortunately they are 1.33 kilos, so whew.
I'm still just happy to have 2 fish.
Very good, mate. No worries. We'll join Timmy over there and we'll get the rest of the anglers up. Harry Watson, the H-man. Harry Watson from Berkley, a veteran of this show, my friend you are. Thanks, Carl. Mate, you were incredibly chatty out there this morning for someone who is facing relegation. Like, you were up for a bit of a yak.
Well, you can't help it. You can only catch what you can catch. You might as well have fun doing it.
Yep. No. I also saw you hook not only bass, but yourself.
Yeah, well, I caught a bass and he went around a bit of a stick and I had to run it to the back of the boat, and on the way I hooked the jackal in my toe and then it hooked in the back of my calf and straight in the rear treble and planted the big one in the back of my calf, and you had to pull it out.
You're lucky that I've done a first aid course, Harry, because whoever didn't see it, I was there, I pulled it out. I should have made it more painful, but this actually might be a little more painful, come to think of it.
Oh, it could be. I might have to.
How you feeling, Harry?
I'm feeling a bit nervous, but you just do what you've got to do. Make sure that bag doesn't touch the sides.
We'll be right, don't worry about that. Don't you worry about me, you just worry about what these suckers weigh.
I'm worried enough.
Here we go. And he's done it!
Yes.
1.52 kilos. Harry Watson, well done.
A great result for Harry Watson. He can't be relegated now. It's come down to a two-man battle between Kerry, Symes and Matthew Mott. A bag weighing 1.33 kilos or less, and Motty will be relegated. A weight of 1.34 kilos plus the big fish, he remains in. And with a weight of 1.35 kilos or more, he will also be safe. This is as close as it gets.
One of the nice guys of the tour, and I do mean that, mate. You are an absolute gentleman.
Thanks, buddy.
Some of the other anglers probably would have a different thing to say, but still. Mate, your day started pretty good. I was watching you. You worked that surface bait for a nice big one, got the swell, and I thought you were going to go down that bank and start cracking them on that surface bait, but it didn't happen.
Sun come up.
Oh,
Basically, that's what happened, mate. That's what I said to you out there. Sun come up, we had 3 opportunities for surface. I even switch bait one where I got one and then threw it in a spinnerbait and got a whack. But today was a really tough day. Everyone struggled out there. Everyone done it really tough. And mate, I was just stoked to get 2 fish, really.
A lot of short takes from those fish.
Yeah, heaps of short takes, heaps of good fish you had on, and they just drop them. And yeah, no, this is going to be real close. I don't think I can handle it much more.
Mate, I'm about to put you out of your misery. You need 1.35 kilos to stay in AFC. You do realise that, don't you?
Yeah, I really need this.
Okay. Mate, I'm shaking. I know you're shaking. Let's get them on and see how you fly once they stop kicking. There it is for you, brother, 1.36!
What a breathtaking finish. Matthew Mott sneaking in by just 10 grams. Unlucky for Kerry, Symes relegated in his first season. And amazingly, the good news continued for Matthew Mott, picking up the Engel big fish and the bonus 2 points. It weighed in at 870 grams. So for the points for round 4, and Berkley picked up 10, and within a whisker of relegation, all of a sudden, Mercury also picked up 10. Club Marine 6 and Shimano just the 3. To the championship leaderboard after 4 rounds, and it is so tight at the top. Berkley and Mercury both on 31, just 1 ahead of Club Marine, Shimano in 4th place.
And he's done it!
Yes.
A thrilling finish to an absolutely brilliant event. An incredibly hard battle fought by all our pros. It had it all. Next week, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. It's Barra time as we head to Lake Awunga. Until then, I'm Matthew Campbell, and on behalf of Steve Morgan and myself, it's bye for now.
I'm pumped.
So 1, 2, 3, yank.